Hello, my name is Beverley Unit and welcome to Mindovation. What's Mindovation? Well, it's my quirky word for mindset and motivation. And you've come across this 40-minute free lesson totally with my compliments because it matters to you to have some gems in your toolbox for life, for different aspects of success that you want to achieve for yourself. So who this is going to suit is someone who is one of two things. You're either an individual who seeks out growth, professional development and personal development, and you thrive on it, and you love it, and you take action, or you're responsible for leading a team, such as you run a store or you run a team or you run some staff, lead some staff people, or perhaps you're a life coach, a business coach, or even a sports coach, and you're responsible for leading people in being the very best they can be. So now I don't know, because we're chatting on a laptop here, I don't know your reason for coming, but I do know this. When you have a change to create, there's got to be some motivation there. If there is no motivation, nothing happens. So to create the change in the first place, there's got to be that motivation, that decision, and then there's got to be a strategy. And when I talk about change, I'm talking about, getting out of stuck, getting out of flatlining, getting out of that sense of frustration and moving to an energy where you can focus on different things and get a different result. Because the same way of doing that old stuff, it just doesn't work, does it? No longer works. So change has to happen. So first that motivation has to happen. That's a decision to, do something. And then there's got to be a strategy. Now you might have a strategy or you might not. You might have come for one. So today I'm teaching 3 great little concepts that are going to make a difference to you when you apply them. So here's the thing. You need a strategy, because when you've got a strategy, you can find the way forward. Or if you have a strategy and you're not using it, well, that's a bigger problem. Because now that's identifying for you that you have some belief thinking going on that is stopping you from putting into place a solution that could make a difference. That's a bigger conversation we need to have. So here's the thing. How come I know this stuff? Well, I've invested in myself for many, many years. I particularly love helping people get past their stuck state. It's one of my things. And I went on and educated myself over many years, and I continue to be a lifelong learner. And I am a master practitioner and a trainer of NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. Neuro is for the brain. Linguistic is our language, our communication, and sometimes it's quiet and sometimes it's noisy, isn't it? And there's also non-verbal communication as well. And the programming part, that's the strategy, the sequence of how we get our events. So I'm taking 3 little nuggets out of NLP and teaching them to you today, totally with my compliments. And I trust that it's for you or someone you know that you need to teach this to, or perhaps you'll send them along to this, because it matters that people are equipped and okay with themselves. We're good people. We mean good. Sometimes we just do crappy behaviour, don't we, in life? And sometimes you have out of character moments. So I want to equip you today with some great gold, 3 nuggets of gold that you're going to put into place and get a different result with. So let's get underway. Alrighty, folks. Let's talk about resilience. Resilience is a characteristic, a quality that will find you when a challenge or a problem steps up. Resilience means you're capable of going, okay, that's a problem. I'm going to get past it. I'm going to get over it. I'm going to get through it. Now, straight up, what if you decided that a challenge turns up in your life because you're capable of dealing with it? Imagine taking that on as a belief, straight ahead right now, to be able to go, well, a challenge turns up because I'm capable of dealing with it. Notice how differently you start to look at a challenge now. Instead of it being an insurmountable little moment, you get to go, okay, well, this is what if this is here in my life because I can get through it? Imagine what could happen. So here's the thing. Out there in life, whether it's career, whether it's personal relationships, whether it's your communication skills, whether it's trying to run a team in business, in retail world, in office world, in sales world, wherever you are, or in anything really, there's an aspect of life where you might come across somebody who's in the pit, right? So they're sitting in the pit and they're doom and they're gloom. And along comes you. Here's you up the top here. Along comes you. And next minute you're agreeing with them and you're being dragged down by their energy and you're in the pit with them and you're in the pit of, miserable and feeling flat and noticing everything that's wrong and just feeling really crappy. Now, please, if you've got a problem with the word crappy, it's just Australian for crappy, not so nice. It's my slang, okay? So here you are in the pit with someone. Now, what happens is when you get in the pit with someone, there's a point where they get on your shoulders and jump out. So they get on your shoulders and out they go. They're no longer in the pit, but you're left down there until you can drag someone else down. And why would you want to do that? Because that's not the essence of you. So instead of jumping in the pit, here's what today's 3 lessons are going to do. They're going to build resilience in you. They're going to give you a way forward. And I'm going to say to you, make a decision today in these next 40 minutes to take it on board and take action. Because procrastination is your biggest enemy. Thinking about it. Oh, I might do that, I might not do that. For heaven's sakes, it's time to ditch that old pattern of behaviour. By the way, behaviour, procrastination, learnt behaviour, which means you can unlearn it and replace it. So it's not the essence of you, it's a behaviour you have learnt, okay? So today, here's you. And as from today onwards, should anyone ever want to drag you into the pit, you're going to have the resilience to jump on over to the other side and say, look, I respect what you're going through, I appreciate what you're going through, I have empathy for you, I have compassion for you. But here's the thing, how do you get out of a pit? One step at a time. Would you like the first 3 steps? And you give them a rope ladder and they take them out. Now, it's up to them to put their hands on the ladder and take the climb because once again, they've got to have motivation, the desire to actually move. They've got to want to make that decision to move and change what they're sick of. And then the second thing is they need a strategy, which is the little rope ladder here. This is the strategies I'm teaching today for you to help you. Okay, so perhaps you will be teaching someone. Perhaps you'll send them to this. Perhaps you'll just love it and run with it. And perhaps you'll want to learn more as well. So let's have a look at our little strategies today. So 3 gems are going into your toolbox. Okay, folks, here we go. Number 1, please pick up a pen and write this down. And you're going to write down, nothing has meaning except the meaning I give it. Now, here's why. What do you make things mean when somebody says something, does something, or you read a media article or something like that? What you make things mean has nothing to do with the other person. It's to do with you, what you make things mean. And I'll show you in just a second on the second little gold nugget how you do that to yourself. But here's the thing, if somebody says something to you or does something to you and you're finding yourself having an emotional reaction, then I want to give you something to reclaim your calm. Because if you have nothing to reclaim your calm, I bet you have stewed on something that's been said or done to you or you've read or something's got your goat going. And I bet you've stewed on it for days, weeks, months, some people for years. Some people are still telling a story from years ago to anyone who would listen. Do you know someone? I certainly do. I know someone who does that. And they don't want to create the change, but you do. You want to create a change because you turned up today. You turned up. Plenty of people could have, but you're here. So here's what I want you to do. Nothing has meaning except the meaning I give it. Here's how to use it. Let's say, I'll give you an example. Let's say someone enters, the vicinity of the environment where I'm in and they behave really, really poorly and they're just obnoxiously rude to me, right? Just say, for example, they're obnoxiously rude. Now, I could react. Old me would have reacted perhaps. I could react, except here's how you use nothing has meaning except the meaning I give it. If you feel an emotional trigger about something, then you're going to use nothing has meaning except the meaning I give it. And you're going to come up with 5 different meanings, right? 5 different meanings that it could mean. Now, I just want to give you an example of how it would work, but first I want to say this. When this nugget of info is gold to you and it's new to you, if you've never come across it before, it might not be in the moment that you reflect on it, but it will be later if you're still feeling the emotional trigger. And the more you reflect and debrief yourself using this tactic later, the faster you will get in the moment of not wearing the problem next time something like that happens. So I just want you to know that. All right. So nothing has meaning except the meaning I give it. What you make things mean is something to empower yourself with. So someone's been obnoxious. I'm going to come up with 5 things. So I could make that she's a rude cow. I could, but that doesn't make me feel better. What else can I make it mean? What else can I make it mean? I could make it mean she's doing the best she could with what she knows at the time. Yes, I could. I could make it mean she's never been taught how she impacts people. Yes, I could make it mean that. I could make it mean she's having an out-of-character day. Yes. What else could I make it mean? I could make it mean that if she knew better, she could do better. Okay. Now, which one will I choose? And I might choose in this instance that she's having an out-of-character day because I've only just met her, and have I ever had an out-of-character day? Yeah, I have. And so if you took that on face value, perhaps you'd have an impression, So I'm going to make it that one, and that makes me feel better. Okay, so you reclaim your calm. Now, the reason I want you to come up with 5 different meanings, and you're inventing them, you're making it mean something, is because the first 1 or 2 can sometimes be your emotional reaction to it, where you're just going off your tree and you're going, oh, she's a rude cow, she's a revolting woman. You could be doing that. But 3, 4, and 5 will come out positive in which one you're going to choose. So nothing has meaning except the meaning you give it is one of the little nuggets in your case, in your little suitcase for success, if you like, because what you make things mean is how you impact your emotional triggers for yourself. Okay? All right. Here comes the number 2 gold nugget. Remember, we're equipping you to jump over the pit instead of into the pit. This is about resilience. These are about life skills for all aspects of life. Harmony in relationships, harmony at work, harmony with yourself. So let's look at number 2. I'm going to take you on a little journey of how our brain works. I'm going to keep it really, really simple, with great respect for anyone who has a medical or a health background, a health professional. I like to simplify the complicated because then people can just grasp it and get it. So yes, I'm aware there's medical terminology out there. I'm a bit of a brain nerd. I love how the brain works, but I love to simplify it. So I'm going to take you on this journey. So it was William James back in 1890, a fabulous philosopher, who said, man can change his life by changing his attitude. Wow, way back then. Man can change his life by changing his attitude. So I want to show you how attitude comes about, because you're in charge of it. And here's what I want you to do. Where you put your focus matters. So I'm going to teach you to focus on what you want and say what you want. That's the second nugget. Focus on what you want, say what you want. But to actually get to that, let's debrief how the brain works. Let's go on a little journey here. Okay, folks, I'm going to draw a picture. This is a person. Use your imagination. It's a person, okay? I've got other skills. They're not necessarily about drawing. I've got plenty of other skills. So here we go. And I'm okay with that too. Okay, we as humans, we can only make sense of our world through our 5 senses, right? That's how we make sense of our world. Our 5 senses brings information into our brain. So our 5 senses, which are, sight, hearing, feel, touch, smell and taste. The fancy names, because about 1 in 7 of you love the actual fancy names. So there's visual, auditory, kinesthetic, olfactory and gustatory. Visual being sight, auditory being hearing, kinesthetic being feel and touch, olfactory being smell and gustatory being taste, okay? So this is the first thing that happens. We are taking in information through our 5 senses at 2 million bits of information per second. Please get this, 2 million. So 2 million bits of information per second is a lot of information to come in. Now, we have to leave stuff out. Our brain says we've got to leave some of this stuff out, because if we took everything in, we just wouldn't be able to cope. If we took every light spectrum in, we wouldn't be able to see each other. If we took every thing we heard in and didn't leave some stuff out, we would be hearing things and chatter from miles away. We just wouldn't be able to make sense of anything. If we took in everything we felt and touched, we would feel our cells on our skin shedding. We would feel our hair growing every little micromillimeter. We would feel the blood pumping and the organs inside our body doing their job. We'd go stir crazy. Not to mention smelling and tasting everything, in the air and around us. For heaven's sakes, we'd go nuts. So our brain says, okay, there's 2 million bits of information per second. We're going to bring in 135 bits. We're going to delete what we think is irrelevant. We're going to distort things so that we feel more familiar with it. And we're going to generalize the information into chunks of information so we don't have to concentrate on a whole lot of stuff. Now, if you ever go on and discover a little bit more about NLP, I'll go into this in a lot more detail. But suffice to say, in our short time here, this is a normal process we are doing all the time. We're supposed to do this. It's how we make sense of our world. So we've got to leave some stuff out. Now, those deletion, distortion, generalisation things that are happening right now with every bit of information, you're doing it right now with this lesson. This deletion, distortion, generalisation is part of how we operate, right? It's part of what we do. But what happens is it's our decades of life and our experiences and our memories, our decisions, our language, how we experience time, space, matter, energy, our values, our beliefs. There's a whole lot of little things that occur that are happening behind the scenes here very, very fast that we're filtering out stuff through. We're deleting, distorting and generalising over a whole lot of other filters. As I say, if you ever go on and learn a little bit more of NLP because you love what you learn here, then I'll go into more detail then. But I want to keep this short and snappy so you get the power of this gem I want you to get, that where you put your focus matters. All right, so we take information in, 2 million bits per second. We're leaving stuff out and bringing in 135 bits. Please get this. What if you are leaving out the very things that could make a relationship more successful, or a customer-client relationship if you're in business or sales for yourself more successful, or a team aspect, or any aspect of life, like how you think about finances, how you think about love? What if you're leaving out the very things that could make you even more successful? For heaven's sakes, you could be leaving out some absolute gems that could totally change your world for better right now. And so I'll come back to that in just a second. So we're bringing in 2 million bits of information, leaving stuff out, hanging on to 135 bits, running them through a whole lot of filters from the experience of life. And then the third thing we do is we keep the information that we're bringing in and we store it on a neural pathway. It's called an internal representation, if you like the fancy word. But a neural pathway is a neuron connecting to a neuron connecting to a neuron. Think of it like a little GPS in your brain. We've got little neurons that have to connect, and that's how they recall things. So, for example, you're storing this experience right now. And on that neural pathway will live a picture, a sound, a feeling, and where relevant, a smell and a taste. And this is why, for example, you can see a cake, or, someone will dish up a cake and you'll think, I haven't seen that since I was a little girl. My nana made that for me. And you'll have a flashback because the smell or the look of it, either the smell or the look of it might trigger a reaction in you which fires off the memory in your brain. So just a quick little mini lesson there as why they're all still stored there in your brain. Okay, back to this neural pathway where we store the information. On that neural pathway is also coded and lives a state, an emotional charge of how you feel in that moment. And also coded is your physiology, which is how your body holds itself and reacts in that moment. And the last thing that happens is behaviour. So when people behave, it's a split second of bringing some information in, discarding some information, keeping what they think is relevant, making it mean something and reacting. Quickly as that. We're doing this all the time. Now, why is this relevant? It's relevant because what you focus on matters. You see, if there's 2 million bits of information out there, how is it that you're bringing in 135 bits, and which 135 bits do you want to bring in? You want to bring in the bits that are going to make life better for you in whatever aspect of life you're here to improve, whether it's professional, personal, whether it's communication skills, whether it's love, harmony, finance, whatever it is for you that you want to get better at, how you think better, might be the whole wheel of life, then you want to be able to say to yourself, okay, I want to change my focus. Now, here's what I want you to know. At the back of your brain is a brainstem. In that brainstem is this tiny little body part called a RAS, R-A-S, Reticular Activating System. One of its main jobs is to be the translator between your conscious language, how you speak and how you think quietly in here, the thoughts on this one, and the unconscious or subconscious activity that happens in the massive part of the brain where, it's all happening behind the scenes. We just don't feel it. We're not consciously aware of it. It's all operating for us, right? So the RAS is the translator. So here's where what you say to yourself out loud, what you think to yourself matters. Because, my friend, it changes your focus. And it changes your focus, which changes the filters. Please get this. All the great information is out there, but how you language your world and where you put your focus is changing what you're bringing in. So really, really important that you focus on what you want and you language it like you want it. So I'm going to give you an example. If you say to yourself, something's happened with a partner or something at work or anything, and you just think later, you're thinking, oh, so stupid. Can't believe I'm so stupid. Like you're beating yourself up about it, whether you're saying it out loud or whether you're thinking it, then here's what happens. Your RAS is commanding your brain, she wants to do stupid today. So the filters change to prove that you're being stupid. So, of course, you have a self-fulfilling prophecy. See, I told you I can't do that. See, I told you that's pathetic. See, I told you I'm useless at this. And the self-fulfilling prophecy is happening. So here's what I want you to do. Now, I teach this little technique. I call it brain champion, because that self-talk that disempowers you, that's your brain bully. That's the part where you're saying, oh, I'm so stupid, or I can't do this, or I'm useless at this. It's that stuff where you beat yourself up. Now, it's a learned behavior, so it can be unlearned. But if this is the neural pathway for I'm stupid, for example, just using the same example, and it's been fired so many times, like it's been said a number of times, it's like a default position. It's a nice piece of like thick rope that's always going to take that avenue. It's always going to fire that way, which is going to make you feel pretty crappy, which is going to make you, hold yourself pretty uselessly. And the behavior and the self-fulfilling cycle that keeps coming in is you're going to keep filtering in the stuff that doesn't serve you well. So you've got to language it like you want it. Focus on what you want and say what you want. So if that's I'm stupid, the minute you pick yourself up, you're going to do it in 2 steps. Thank you, I've finished with you. That's the first step, to put the stop sign up. Have awareness of how you speak to yourself and put the stop sign up. Because the minute you do that, that's when you get to go, no, I just realised I said something to myself. Thank you, I've finished with you. Whether you say it out loud or quietly, it doesn't matter, but say it. It's the first step. Now, the second step is to language what you want. Now, say it in the positive. But here's the thing. Sometimes you can't think of what you want straight away because you've just done that beat up to yourself and you're trying to do the awareness of picking yourself up and stopping yourself. So if this is I'm stupid, the neuron's now sitting and waiting because you've gone, thank you, I've finished with you. That neuron is just hovering and the RAS is going, okay, what does she want to tell the brain what to do? You need to now language what you want with the words, I notice I'm getting better at. Please write that down. I notice I'm getting better at. See, it gives you thinking time. So let's say the old you's gone, I'm so stupid. Oh, actually, no, thank you, I've finished with you. I notice I'm getting better at. And it gives you thinking time to go, I notice I'm getting better at getting along with my partner. Or I notice I'm getting better at connecting with my customers today. Or I notice I'm getting better at teamwork today, or whatever it is that you want to get better with. right? So I notice I'm getting better at, starts the thinking process so that this neuron now goes, oh, that's different. And it seeks out other neurons to form the new pattern of language that you've just given yourself. So the more you say I'm stupid, it's a thick piece of rope, the more you interrupt the pattern and start a new way of thinking or a new focus, if you like, the old thing will stop firing at some point. Now, it might take you about 21 times to pick yourself up and do it, but you're here because you want to create change for either yourself or someone else. So it matters that you take this lesson and you use it. This is huge. So far, you got 2 nuggets, 2 gems, 2 gold pieces in your resourceful toolbox for success. The first one was nothing has meaning except the meaning I give it. And the second one is focus on what you want and say what you want. So the reason I've drawn this is I want you to get that it's such a simple process. Your language and how you language your world is affecting your filters, is affecting your outcomes. Nobody's doing anything to you. You do it to yourself. So take care of you. Language it like you want it. Focus on what you want and say what you want. So 2 steps to the Brain Champion technique. Thank you, I finished with you is 1 step. And the second step is I notice I'm getting better at and language it. So do you like that? I trust that you do. And thank you for those of you who are saying that you do. I appreciate that. That's lovely. Good on you. Now use it. Come on. Alrighty. So language leaves clues. Pick yourself up on it, won't you? Now, the third little gem that I want to give you today is the action you will take. And I call it the recipe for instant growth. You see, there are 50% of the population who are great at starting something, but really slow to finish it if they finish it at all. And the other 50% of the population are generally slow to start, but once they get going, they can finish it really well. So you're one or the other. And some of you are, you're typing in right now. Some people are typing in right now what they notice they are. So go ahead if you wish to share what you are. It's a bit of a fun moment, isn't it? Are you a good starter or are you a good finisher? And it's in the context of things. So sometimes you might notice you're a good starter in certain contexts of life, and others you're a slow starter and a good finisher. Okay, so you've worked out what you are. You recognise on the whole which one that you sit in. So here's the thing. If you haven't worked out how to get going on a goal and finishing it, then it's because you've only got one side of the bookend. Think of a pair of bookends. They hold up a set of books, right? When you've only got one side of it, of course the guts of it's going to fall over. The middle's going to fall out. So here's where I want to give you the 2 bookends to your recipe for instant growth so you can achieve things for yourself. Now this little technique I'm about to teach you, it will work for goal setting. It will work for goal setting in an hour. If you've got to achieve something in the next hour, it'll work for goal setting in a day, in a year, a decade, 3 years, 5 years, anything that you want to put your mind to. This is a really cool bookend moment to be able to have that start, that strong start and that strong finish and really hold up what you've got happening for yourself. And here's how it goes. The first step is to start with the end in mind, right? Start with the end in mind. So before you've decided, let's say you want to achieve something for yourself, you start with the end in mind. Think about that first. And how you think about it is very powerful if you notice yourself as if you've already achieved the goal and you're imagining you're in a movie. Like imagine yourself that you're watching yourself on TV or on the screen, on a video screen if you like. And what you do is you notice, what am I seeing? What am I hearing? What am I feeling? So notice yourself as if the goal is completed. What am I seeing? What am I hearing? What am I feeling? And notice that for yourself, right? That's the first step. Start with the end in mind. Now come back to the beginning. Now, if the goal has some time of distance in it, like, a year or some months or a couple of years or a decade or whatever into it, then you might want to put some lily pads in place. For that to happen, where do I need to be at halfway? Where do I need to be at a quarter of the way through? And then come back to now. So you might want to put some lily pads, landing pads in, if you like, that you want to jump onto along the way. But if it's just a goal in the next hour, that just saying, well, in an hour's time, I want to have that finished. What am I seeing? What am I hearing? What am I feeling? Well, you don't really need to put the landing pads in, do you? You just want to get going with it. But to get going, you now come back to the beginning. Now, the beginning needs 3 steps. That's how you work out your strong start, the first 3 steps. Now, you might be thinking, yeah, well, great, Beverley, I'm not really a great starter, and you're telling me to work out my 3 steps. If I knew my 3 steps, I would do it. Fair comment, if you thought it or not. But here's how powerful your brain is. This is what I want you to get. You're in charge of your brain. You are in charge of what you let into your brain. I've already told you about the RAS. So if you come back to the beginning and you can't work out the first 3 steps instantly, you simply ask your brain a question or make a statement. You say to yourself, my first 3 steps will come to me in just a moment. They'll come to me any second now and I'll get underway. And your RAS will tell the brain she wants the first 3 steps. And the filters will change so that you can notice from your experience, from all the things you've heard and learnt, the first 3 steps are going to come to you because you've commanded it of your brain. Go internally berserk, folks. You should be loving this. I'm going internally berserk. I love this myself. I love teaching it. So get excited. Command your brain. You are in charge of it. No one does anything to you. You're in charge of your brain. Take care of it. Thank you. Okay, so we're talking about the bookends. Start with the end in mind. Come back to the beginning. If you have a distance of time in it, put the lily pads or the landing pads in the middle. Get your first 3 steps and away you go. Let me give you an example. Let's say I want to save $10,000 for a car. I'm just pulling a figure out and I'm pulling a goal out, right? Could be save $10,000 to take the family on a holiday somewhere special. Let's say it's $10,000, I'm in Australia, that I want to save and take some members of the family to Uluru to see the beautiful, beautiful Uluru in the middle of Australia. Let's say it's that. So I'm going to start with the end in mind. So if the goal has been completed, what am I seeing? What am I hearing? What am I feeling? I'm seeing myself sitting there with my family and we're just all smiling at each other going, that was absolutely beautiful. I'm hearing them go, I've never seen anything so exquisite and spiritually enriching as that moment that we had today. And I'm feeling really proud that I was able to take some family members to experience this. So I'm see, hear and feel as if the goal's finished. Now, it's 12 months, my goal. I'm going to save $10,000 in the next 12 months, say. So I'm going to put some lily pads in place. I'm going to say, well, 6 months from today, I'm going to need to have $5,000 saved. 3 months from today, I need to have $2,500 saved. So now I'm back to the beginning and I need my first 3 steps. What are my first 3 steps? It'll come to me in a second. My first 3 steps are coming to me any moment now. Okay, my first 3 steps is I need to open a separate bank account because my second step is I'm going to put $200 a week direct debit away into this second bank account. And my third step is I'm actually going to make that announcement to the family members I'm taking to save the date because in 12 months' time, we're going to go to Uluru and that's going to keep me on its way. So that are my first 3 steps. I get them underway and away we go. So can you see how the bookend can be very, very strong in your favour if up until now you've only had one side of it. You've either been a great starter or a great finisher. You need to be both. So I trust you've enjoyed that. I'm going to share a little screenshot for you of the 3 things that are 3 keys to an empowered you. So I'm just going to bring that up now. And that is, number 1, today you've learned what I make things mean. So remember, nothing has meaning except the meaning you give it. So when you're doing it for the first time, you might be debriefing yourself later in the day where you make it mean something else. The more you do that, the more in the instant where once you reacted, you'll be able to get a lot faster at being able to reclaim your calm. The second thing is where you put your focus. Focus on what you want, say what you want. You are in charge of your filters. Nobody does anything to you. All the great information is out there. So command your brain, language what you want, say it like you want it, put it in the positive, and let the information come through to you through the filters that are going to serve you well. And the third thing, the action you will take. I've given you my recipe for instant growth. Start with the end in mind. Come back to the beginning. If it had some distance to it, it's got some lily pads, some landing pads in it. Work out your first 3 steps, and that is a blockbuster way to achieve your goals. So I trust you've enjoyed that today. The 3 keys to empower you, they belong in your toolbox for success for you and for those that you'd love to teach it to too. So I trust you've loved it, and thank you for your comments. I love gratitude. Thank you. I'm a big person who has gratitude myself, and the reason I have gratitude is it's a beautiful karma to have, isn't it? When you're grateful for learning something and you appreciate it. So thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, folks. So that's the end of our little lesson. I said I'd keep you for about 40 minutes. If you would love a little bit of information about NLP and a 7-week introduction course that I have, stick around because I'm about to give you a very, very special offer. Okay, here it is. Thank you for hanging around. Here it comes. This is a 7-week course. It is for motivation, mindset and motivation. In this 7 weeks, there is about 35 little techniques and strategies that you will have for life that I will teach you. And how I teach you is this. I invite you to my private membership site, and inside my private membership site, you're going to have access to some lessons that you can watch and repeat and watch again. But it's like this. When you decide that it's time to get out of your own way, or maybe you're helping someone else, but it's for yourself or someone you want to help because you love teaching people, it might work for you as a coach. If you are a coach, by the way, NLP is the missing link, because you already know if you're a coach without NLP, you can get some people to a certain space, but there's something that's stopping them and you haven't been able to crack the code yet. NLP decodes what's going on in people's brains. It helps you go straight to the heart of the matter. But back to this introduction. The introduction, look, the time to grow is now, right? The time to empower yourself and get knowledge and apply that knowledge is now. You know that when you learn, you can make such a ripple effect on other people. And I love helping people blossom and, really get out of their own way and help others to blossom too. So my 7-week course is an introduction. It is super simple, but you get 2 live hours with me and you get some pre-recorded lessons in between. So let me show you how it works. So my 7 weeks, the first week, you'll be invited to an hour live with me. That hour live, I want to go into detail, a little bit more detail here, but I also want to really set you off with some thinking and really help you with the strategy of where you're going forward and how you're going to use what I'm about to reveal to you. That's week 1. Week 1 then opens up for you in my private membership site with some pre-recorded lessons. It might be 10 minutes, might be 5 minutes, different little videos. You can watch them again and again. And they're lessons that belong in your toolbox that you can use for self and others. Then week 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, I drip feed to you. The day that you start, I drip feed to you these lessons, right? Now, the reason I drip feed them to you is really important. I'm taking away that old excuse of overwhelm. That is such an old behaviour that no longer has its place. Because when you do overwhelm, you're actually craving certainty. So I'm saying to you, let's take that away altogether. Let's just drip feed some lessons to you week by week. And then week 7, we come back together live, right? You and I come live. And I work with you and make sure the lessons I've given you are consolidated and they're locked and loaded in your brain so that you can use them going forward in life. Now, if you would love that introduction, you're seeing on the screen right now the very special offer I have for you. If you have more questions, then you also have the choice to actually make a time with me. There's a link where you can make a time with me. I'm just putting that up for you. And that's where you can go and you can make an appointment with me, compare our diaries, make an appointment, and I'll phone you at the time that you've selected and I will answer your questions for you. So if you'd love that, please do that. If you're ready and you go, yep, I'm going to love a 7-week course with Beverley Unit, hooray, Mindovation Expert, then welcome aboard, because I would love to take you on the journey, an introduction to NLP with my Mindovation Introduction course. So folks, you've got a choice. Would you love to get underway right now? And you click through if you do. If you would love to make an appointment with me where I can answer your questions, then please do that as well. And I look forward to catching up with you very, very soon. Thanks for being here. I trust you've loved my 3 keys that I've helped you with today. And I look forward to helping you even further to reveal the exquisite body of NLP and equip you with some fabulous strategies, techniques, and insights for a great life. See you soon. Bye for now. Thanks, folks.